All right, listen. Let's get to last night. I mean, with Doug Pederson, eschewing the field goal. What it was 17-14 going for the time. By the way, Jalen Hurts, he was open.
He was.
He just didn't have enough steam on the pass, but it was actually a well-designed play. I didn't have an issue with that. There's other things to get into. You're a Giant, all right? So this obviously impacts you. Let me give you first. Go ahead, buddy. What are we doing about this?
So here's the thing, BT. That pass, and just to go to that pass for a second, this is why Jalen Hurts needed to play in the fourth quarter. Because that pass, which was, oh, man, this play is broken down. I got to scramble. I got to buy some time. Oh, wait, there's my guy. He's coming free. Because he's going to be wide open, right? He's coming free, and he just kind of weakly threw it over there. It takes repetitions to realize, and being in that situation multiple times, that I have my guy, I see him, let me get my body square, get my shoulders towards my target, and even though my feet aren't going to be planted, I got to throw this thing just a little bit higher than I normally would because I'm not going to have any steam on it, no hip motion on it. You got to do those things, right? So the fact that they pulled him right after that, by the way, the next series,
right. And by the way, you got to do it in real time.
Yes.
You can't replicate that stuff in practice. You got to do it in the game.
In practice because you know what? You got a red jersey on in practice.
Exactly.
They're not hitting you.
Yep.
The Washington football team was coming to Chase Young was chasing him down to come knock his head off. So doing it in the games mattered.
Yeah.
And yes, the Giants fans after that almost gifting it back to the Cowboys victory that we had was pretty amazing. And it
Mike
set
McCarthy.
Us up. I know. God, geez,
what are you doing? Throw the challenge flag.
No
coach.
idea, man. No idea at all. But anyways, so the Giants won. If the Washington football team loses to the Eagles, then the Giants are in the postseason.
That's
so
right.
Giants fans are rooting. I even said this on air. I was like, record this because I'll never say it again. Let's go Eagles, right?
Is that what you said?
I said it on the air.
And by the way, the Giants from their official Twitter account tweeted out, "We never say this, but fly Eagles fly."
That's right.
Everybody's rooting for, of course.
And so here's the thing. I don't even care about that, BT. What I care about is that in an NFL season where there's only 16 games, if you don't play everyone to win, and yes, the tanking side of it comes in because I got to get young players in. We're looking for
not that young player though.
I agree. That's my point. Nate Sudfeld is 27 years old. He's thrown 22 passes or 20 passes in an entire career. He got drafted by Washington. He got cut. He got picked up. He's been on the practice squad. He's been the third string. He's not significant to the Philadelphia Eagles' future plans.
No.
So the fact that he's going to get time tells me it's blatant tanking. And so the Eagles should be ashamed because you play every game to win, BT. And even if your team is inferior, you still play to win that football game. So to me, it wasn't about the Giants getting into the postseason, even though that was the subtext that everybody in our circle kind of was talking about. The reality is that the Eagles, by losing that game, improved their draft position to 6 as opposed to 9.
3 slots.
And that's, that happens.
You know what? That could be one of the top receivers.
That's exactly right.
And
there's a bunch of them, and there's a bunch of really good ones at the top of the draft. And so it's exactly what they need. The fact that it happened is one thing. The fact that he was so blatant about it is what bothers me. Right?
Yeah.
It's not like Carson Wentz was starting and he's playing relatively poorly. The game is tight. You know what? I'm going to get Jalen Hurts. We drafted this kid in the second round. I haven't seen much of him. Let me put Jalen Hurts in the game and see what happens. And if you crap the bed because Jalen Hurts has no experience, we'll say, you know what? He was a second round draft pick. I'm glad. Season was lost anyways. I wanted to see Jalen Hurts. This was a good call. But Carson Wentz is inactive. Right? He didn't dress for the game.
Wasn't dressed.
Right? Jalen Hurts is starting. He's playing great as a playmaker, not as a passer, but as a playmaker. He scored 2 touchdowns. He's making things happen. He's moving them up and down the field.
Yep.
You need to see Jalen Hurts. You have a decision you're going to have to make after this season regarding Jalen Hurts and positioning Carson Wentz if he's continuing to ask to be out of Philadelphia. Play Jalen Hurts. Not Nate Sudfeld. It made no sense. And the blatant nature of it is what I think is bothering a lot of people. Some people don't care. But I think for the integrity of the game, you have to care if you're the NFL.
Pertaining to the Giants, and listen, if it was the Cowboys on the other end of this, I'd be saying the same. Control your own destiny or somebody else will.
That's right.
Okay?
Yeah. I don't feel bad for the Giants. They started the season 0-5, man.
And by the way, Teak, I didn't even tweet anything last night about this, but I gave Giant fans the wiggle room to last night to have these ridiculous takes and roasting Peterson. By the way, let me not bury the lead. If I'm running the Eagles, Doug Pederson's out. And he's out for a multitude of reasons. He destroyed Carson Wentz. That relationship is completely fractured.
After paying him $128 million.
After paying him the big loop. The messaging every single week has been sloppy and disjointed and not forthcoming and all over the map. He has not projected great leadership skills. There's nothing, this is just me, about Doug Pederson that I see that I view as galvanizing. So even if you trade Carson Wentz, and we'll have all offseason to hammer that. We know the report he wants out. We'll see where that goes, even though it's untenable, apparently, money-wise. But you never know. Maybe he's going down to the Colts. Rivers retires, quite plausible. But there's nothing about Doug Pederson. If I'm an Eagles fan or from Jeffrey Lurie, I'm sitting there saying, all right, I've got unflinching faith that this is the guy to pull us out of this hellhole, which, by the way, is largely created by Doug Pederson. Pertaining to last night with the whole pull with Jalen Hurts, it's such a disservice to his growth.
Yeah.
It's early January. It's cold. It's a little wet. You played a divisional rival. It's the only game on TV. There's pressure. Even though the Eagles are eliminated, there's a palpable energy to the game associated with it because everybody's watching, at least in the NFC East, because it means something. Like, that could have been a springboard to further growth for Jalen Hurts.
Yeah,
and he sabotaged it. What a clown move!
I didn't even say that, but what you just said is really the most important part of it, and why it feels so egregious.
It's the Giants. How the Giants feel. I mean, I love Eli. Tweet all you want. Golden Tate, Darius Slayton. Tweet whatever the hell you want. What matters is that Peterson took the football away from his guy
in prime time.
So
everybody saw it. It was egregious, and everybody saw it.
Correct.
We're not hiding from that. Like, we're in the early slot, and the Derrick Henry. We're in the late slot, and Derrick Henry's rushing for 250 yards, and Jonathan Taylor's rushing for 250. Yeah, we got overlooked because these other teams were having big moments. There's nobody else. There's nothing else on.
That's it.
Like, literally nothing else on for sports fans last night.
Yeah.
I guess Steph scored 62, but
we'll get to that later. Steph was bowling.
There was nothing else on if you were a football fan, and you watched Doug Pederson, and they talked about it on air.
Well, and here's the thing: the worst. And I want to play this now. The most. This is embarrassing. Like, this is offensive.
Yeah.
Doug Pederson actually stepped to a microphone and looked us collectively in the eyes and said he did this because he was trying to win the game. You know what that is? You do that on
I don't get that.
Senior night for the volleyball player who didn't play all year, right? But kept the score, maybe even washed the towels, helped out like player/manager. All right, it's senior night. Let's give him or her.
Yeah.
Go get a couple of kills.
That's right. That's what that felt like.
Not the NFL.
That's what it felt like. If Nate Sudfeld is not on the Philadelphia Eagles next year, which
he's out of the NFL.
Exactly. If he's not on the team next year, then Doug Pederson's got to get crap for the rest of his life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was ridiculous from that
angle. That is a ridiculous take. That is an utterly ridiculous and ignorant.
Yes.
And you believe me.
Keep going.
Believe me because I say it take. Not because of what you know, but believe me because of what I'm telling you take. That's what that was. I'm playing to win the game, and Nate Sudfeld deserved to play. No, he doesn't. No. He's not an NFL caliber quarterback. He's an NFL caliber backup, which means you should back up. And when you have a guy you draft in the second round who's been balling for you the last 3 weeks after you benched the guy because you ruined him and screwed him up, and now he's actually going to be out, you play that kid. You don't play Nate Sudfeld. That's the problem, BT. And we've said this for the last couple of weeks with Doug Pederson. He's talking like we're idiots. Like we don't know what's going on.
That's why we've called him out a lot.
You have to call him out because it's nonsense. And Philly's a big market. It's a media market. You're not getting away with it just by saying, we're going to do what we're going to do, and you guys can't say anything about it. It'll be a one-day story. This isn't going to be a one-day story, Doug Pederson.
No,
because you're undermining the integrity of the game, and you can't do that especially when there's only 16 of them.
What a mess. So, in summation, Giant fans, get over it. Last night's one thing, it's raw. The edges are jagged. We get it. You had an emotional game, up and down with the Cowboys. You come back, you win. You got a puncher's chance, more than that, but at 17-14 third quarter to win the game last night. You're thinking about hosting Tom Brady, who you could have beat earlier in the season.
Right.
I get it. And by the way, Joe Judge, Your future is bright. That is undeniable. I love the new Giants culture because it's beginning to represent the old Giants culture. But stop with the stupid tweets. Grow up. Last night was one thing. Today is something else. So those are the two different aspects. What the Giant fans are saying about what Doug Pederson did, which is at the end of the day means nothing. And, what Doug Pederson did to Jalen Hurts, which to me is really the only thing that matters.
Yeah.
It was an abomination. Doug Pederson. One thing, I'm happy the Eagles aren't firing him because I was fearful because where'd Joe Douglas come from? Came from Philly.
Yeah.
And I'm saying if they fire Doug Pederson, is Joe Douglas going to go hire this clown? Because this is not the guy that I want to save from Adam Gase.
Yeah,
there's no way. Keep him one more year, Philly.
The last word on this, BT, is the one thing that Doug Pederson now has to worry about, and this is just trickling out. I don't know if it's going to gain any steam.
Go ahead.
But not just us from the outside and media and Giants fans and everyone else. His players are pissed off about this. And if this is something that loses him a locker room, it's on him. There's no one else to blame but himself.
Nothing else matters. You're right. That's the ultimate point. What the guys wearing the green and white and black, and they got a little other, whatever uniform color. They have different uniform. You know what I mean? Yeah. Whatever they're thinking. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell to be notified when we drop fresh content.